for a lot of people, they suffer from a condition called alopecia, which is hair loss. And there are a lot of men, I'm probably sure you're aware of the uncle who has the male pattern baldness. But there are 30 million people in this country who also suffer from this condition. And I happen to be with one today who happens to be a dear friend that I've known for years. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for asking me and having me.
Listen, you went through a time period where there was nothing you could do about it.
Right. Not anything at all.
And you just started losing your hair.
Yes.
And that's frustrating.
Very frustrating because it's noticeable, and you know it also affects your confidence in yourself as well.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Now, because we talked about a little bit before we got on here about when your daughter got married
Yes.
and going down the aisle.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, well, I was going through some of our photo albums the other day, and I come across her wedding album, so I was flipping through, and I was like, oh my gosh, here we are walking down the aisle, and I have this big shiny spot right here. You know, you have that beautiful dress on, and you're all excited, and you think you look gorgeous, and then you have this hair that's not there.
Well, you do look gorgeous. Just happens you're missing some hair here.
Yes.
So it was at that point that you said, I'd like to do something, but honestly, what do you do about it?
I know. Well, for me, I didn't know what to do. On TV, you know, you see where they have this spraying stuff. And while I went there, I tried the spraying stuff. Then I tried the clipping thing.
I did too. I tried that.
Did you really?
Yeah. And I took it, I sprayed it all down here.
Did
and
you
everything.
want the
Yeah, I wanted a full face.
Oh, wow. But anyway, that did not work.
Yeah.
And it looked really horrible. So, you know, I didn't know where to turn to. I didn't know what to do.
And then there's the whole thing with surgery too. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do those plugs all over.
Absolutely. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
And I know I couldn't go that route because I didn't, you know, really have the finances to do that, you know, and I wasn't really sure about it. So I was like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah. Because I've seen people who have had that surgery and it's like,
I know.
that don't look too good.
I know. Looks painful too.
Yeah. And so then you discovered this guy.
Yes, this wonderful, awesome, amazing guy. Discovered him.
We're talking about Mr. Joe Ellis, who's with Raleigh Hair Concepts.
Right.
And back then, I don't think it was Raleigh Hair Concepts, it was Joe Ellis.
Joe Ellis, yes.
Yeah.
Joe Ellis, the great, wonderful Joe Ellis.
But he has this answer to this problem.
Absolutely. Well, I found out, you know, about Joe, and I remember my first time I came in, I sat down and I just started to cry. And I said, can you help me? And he said, I sure can. And then it's been this wonderful relationship. I think that was in 1996, I believe. So we've had this wonderful ongoing relationship all these years.
Because I'm telling you, as you can see the before picture, and then you see you now.
Yeah.
And no one would ever know that you ever had a problem.
Absolutely, and when I share my story, like with my friends at work, or you know, just outside of work or wherever, they can't believe it. They say, "Well, can I touch it? Can I feel it? You know, how do you do this? You know?" So,
and you wash and just like everybody else.
Yeah, you can shampoo it in your shower. You comb it just like your regular hair. You can go swimming in it. You know, so it's just like your own hair is there. So you can do all those things you did before.
You had mentioned something before, and I kind of want to go back to that real quick, about your confidence. Because it does affect your confidence.
It does. It does. You just don't feel confident in most areas. It was difficult to be in large groups because, you know, when people are talking to you, they're all the time looking at your hair or your bald spots or whatever. So, you know, it made me just feel kind of uncomfortable and lack a lot of self-confidence.
And you do feel like people are talking about you.
Oh yeah, oh definitely.
You get to the point where you think the people in the football game on television are talking about you.
Absolutely.
So you got this done, and it has, I'm assuming it's revolutionized your life.
It really has. I've gained all the self-confidence. I'm bubbly, outgoing. I love the way it makes me feel. I don't even know I really have it on. I mean, it's just part of me, part of who I am. So it's really great. And I remember when I first got it, my son Scott,
Yes.
I remember he hadn't seen me except for a few days afterwards, and he came down the driveway. He said, "Oh my gosh, Mom, this is terrible. You look like my sister."
Oh, that is terrible.
I don't think I ever told you that.
That is a terrible thing.
That's a terrible thing.
Wow.
But this was a long time. This was in '96.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you would recommend it to everybody?
I would. If there's any lady out there or man that, has hair loss issues, come see Joe. I mean, he's got the answer for you. He can help you with whatever issue that you have. And like I say, it's changed my life. I wouldn't ever be without it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
My motto is I work for hair.
Love that.
I always have. I said, whatever I need to do to have my hair, that's what I'm going to do, because it's just made a world of difference. So, I love it.
You heard it. So if you're suffering, all it is just one phone call away. In fact, we're going to put his website right here. Check it out. Just a matter of minutes can change your life forever. Don't change the channel, because we got more coming up.
Hello, Tim. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. So we've got this gorgeous hair here, but underneath she's missing parts. And you came in and just filled in where there was missing hair. So as the average person is looking here, I'm thinking, how does he do that? Look at that.
For her, she was thinning on the top area. So I took a mold of this area, and then a thin skin-like material was made per the mold, and then human hair was hand-tied one by one into this.
Wow.
So then from there, as you can see as I turn her around, she actually blends into her growing hair. So everything has been cut and texturized to where when the wind blows,
There's
It
no way
always
to tell where
incredible.
one starts and one stops.
exactly, and it's all kind of one. So when a client like this comes into me, I kind of find that there's three kind of options that I talk to them about. The first option being surgical, and surgical is where they take hair from one area of the scalp and move it to another area of the scalp. One issue with that being is that you have to have enough donor hair to replace,
Sure.
to actually add volume to. So for her, she didn't have enough donor hair to give the volume that she was looking for. So the other two options would have been non-surgical, which is the attachment that we have designed for her, or we can do, today we've actually got wet lines that promote healthy hair growth, and also a FDA cleared laser that can help produce blood flow up to the scalp.
Okay.
And that is for some clients that are just starting to thin and they want to create the healthiest hair growth they can at the time. Once again, she was beyond that point. So the hair system option was her best option. So of course today she came in, I shampooed and conditioned, I styled, and she's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. So there's actually a very strong adhesive then that keeps it in place.
There's actually several different ways to attach.
Okay.
And that would be per the client and myself to decide what is the best option for her. Most of my clientele decides to do a medical bond. So basically what that is I actually attach it perimeter or either full scalp, and it is good for about 4 weeks depending on the type of attachment that's used. And then once in about 4 weeks time, it's going to have traveled with the hair growth. So it gets a little wiggly at that last 4-week mark. So because of the hair growth.
Right.
So she comes back in, I detach, and then I actually reattach again.
Wow.
So that's about the only maintenance issue that would be for that type of client. There are also clients that decide that they want other methods of attachment, which I also have as well.
Wow.
Just depends on the client.
Now, before I had said 30 million people, but it's just 30 million women
Correct.
have this problem.
There's
Millions.
actually a lot more in the men and women
Wow.
category. But yes, as for women, and it's something that women don't really talk about, because mostly women are thinking that wigs are the only option for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And it really isn't. Wigs are a good alternative for some people.
So the bottom of this, you were talking about.
This is a custom system that I've made. I've actually used a skin material that when that's attached, you actually see skin.
Wow. So it looks like the scalp is.
Correct.
Wow.
And then this particular one I've actually designed to where I can pull hair through. If she has any growing hair, I can pull that through as to integrate her hair also into this. I use all different sorts of human hair. I use virgin hair. I also used high-end Remy hair. And here's the blonde. It's a very, very light system. I designed this one so that the client doesn't have too much hair to begin with. And if you notice here, you can actually see through this.
Wow.
So when I put my skin on that, you actually see my skin.
Yeah.
So it actually allows her, and then this hair rotates on its axis, just like that. So this particular client here has this exact color, and the base of it will be the exact size of the hair loss area that I'm replacing.
It's really cool because there's a whole creative part of this.
And that's what I love so much.
You
yes.
love it because you can see somebody and just envision the hair that's
Absolutely.
going to be there. That is so cool. Thank you for letting me.
Thank you very much.
Don't
Thanks.
change the channel. We're coming right back.